Welcome in, welcome in. I'm Coach Mrs. G. I help women break their unhealthy dating patterns so you can actually start choosing relationships that you deserve, relationships that you want, so you can make choices that are more aligned with the outcomes that you want. If you can observe a clear pattern in your dating life, that means you're participating. So let's start there. And so that means that there is a disconnect. So now we have to start connecting the dots, asking ourselves objective questions so maybe we can approach this differently. Two types of people in this life. People who observe patterns in their life and then they're like, okay, let me get curious about this. It's not about blaming yourself for what other people are doing. You're simply saying like, okay, this thing keeps showing up in my life. And so I'm just going to get really curious about it. I'm going to start asking myself objective questions. If I keep dating narcissistic men, at some point I have to start connecting the dots. Was my mom narcissistic? Like, what's going on? Was my daddy narcissistic? Or at what point in my life did this behavior become normalized to me? Because obviously my brain has normalized it. I'm talking to the woman who feels like, no, there is a clear pattern in my dating life and I'm so sick and tired of it. I'm so sick and tired of it. So I need help figuring it out. You arrive at adulthood with not your own understanding, not your own consciousness. You arrive at adulthood with whatever programming you received as a child. It's just this automatic thing. That's why sometimes you don't even know why you keep ending up in the same type of relationship, why you keep ending up in the same type of friendships, why you have a hard time standing up to narcissistic behavior. You have a hard time expressing your needs. You need to ask yourself, so when was the first time that I experienced shrinking myself for others? When was the first time I experienced being silenced? When was the first time? When was the first time I experienced feeling like I wasn't good enough? We need to connect the dots and trace these things back. There is a set of conditions that have to exist for you to be the way you are. You don't even know what those conditions are. You just out here dating, going off of vibes, going off and just blindly dating. And then you're like, oh, why do I keep ending up in a situation? Because you're not moving with any type of clarity or discernment or even understanding of self. Everything leads back to self. And I say that with love. Once again, that does not mean you are blaming yourself for what somebody did to you. That just means, okay, if this keeps showing up in my life, it gets to a point. Amen? You treating every man like a case study. Oh, let's see if this can work. Let's see if we can make some shake. Instead of having a list of non-negotiables, I'm going to filter him through my non-negotiables. If he's not compatible with my non-negotiables, the answer is no. Some of y'all are scared of clarity because clarity means being by yourself and sitting down. I've been there. I'm on the other side of dating with low self-worth, dating through anxious attachment, daddy issues, abandonment issues. I'm on the other side of that, okay? I used to date with no clarity, no intention. Nothing in my dating life changed, okay? The marriage that I'm in right now, I've been with my husband for almost 9 years. This relationship would have not been possible if I didn't get to a point of clarity within myself. This relationship would never have been possible if I didn't stop blaming men and start asking myself questions about myself and gaining clarity about myself. Like, what am I really looking for in a man? And am I willing to move accordingly? Am I willing to walk away when those things are not present? Am I willing to be by myself? The relationship I'm in today, the marriage I'm in today would not be possible if I wasn't willing to stand 10 toes down on my non-negotiables and really get comfortable in my own company. From a very young age, my biological father set the tone for me that you have to chase love. You have to perform for love. And if somebody's running away from you, it's got to be something you did. It's got to be something wrong with you. My own father sold that lie to me when I was like 9 years old. I was only attracted to emotionally unavailable men because I'm like, oh, no, it's not that they're emotionally unavailable. It's got to be something about me that's not lovable. This wasn't a conscious thought. Come on now. This wasn't a conscious thought. This was my programming. We have to start connecting the dots. Why are you so uncomfortable expressing your needs in relationships? Is it because when you were a kid, you weren't allowed to express yourself? Is it because you saw your mom shrink in front of your dad? Like, what is it? Let's walk it on back and see. A lot of us don't want to sit with those uncomfortable memories. We don't want to sit with those uncomfortable feelings because it hurts. It hurts and it's difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. But that's where you're going to unlock the next level. That's where you're going to have those epiphanies. That's where you're going to all of a sudden like have this shift in your energy. The more you understand about yourself, I'm telling you, it's going to change your energy. It's going to change your perspective on love and relationships, okay? So that's number one. A lot of y'all don't even have the clarity. You don't know what your non-negotiables are. You don't even know why things are happening in your life. So let's start there. Limiting beliefs. Some of you are out here dating, but you don't actually believe that the type of relationship you want or that the type of man you want is actually possible or that it exists. Or so it's like if you're dating, but your subconscious belief is you asking for too much, or nobody's ever going to live up to that. Or no, listen, I am a walking testimony. Okay, there are roughly 8 billion people on this planet. Don't quote me, give or take. I don't know. Maybe it's 6, maybe it's 9. I really don't know. It's enough. It's enough people out here. Please don't let your limiting beliefs or your past experience, don't let a little trauma get in your way. Don't let a little insecurity get in your way. Don't let that past relationship make you think that what you want doesn't exist. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Once we really gain clarity and we stop looking at things from this like, gender wars type of perspective, and you start to look at people as people and you start to understand why people are the way they are, right? And then you throw on top the nuances between men and women. But does this mean you can control every single outcome and that there's a guarantee? No, relationships, at the end of the day, relationships don't come with a guarantee. And that's life. And that's the part where you just have to be okay with like the things that you're not in control of. However, we can make decisions that are more aligned with the outcomes we want. We can move with a little bit more discernment, especially when we can observe a clear pattern in our dating life. If you see the same pattern over and over again, I don't care how much discernment you think you have. If the same pattern is repeating itself, that means you need more discernment. I don't care how strict you think your boundaries are. If the same pattern keeps repeating itself, you need better boundaries or different boundaries. If the same pattern, he's never been married, doesn't own a home, and doesn't have kids, is a little bit scary. Ask the right questions. Ask him. Don't be intimidated by these men. Don't be scared to ask the important questions. Ask him. Say, how come you don't own a home? Like, I don't care. Ask him the question. Say, how come, or just say, one thing that, I am a little bit that I'm thinking about is, I do want stability. I do want a man that can kind of help me elevate and like be a team player. And, I know you don't own a home and you're 47. Like, is it, can we talk about that? Like, girl. Ask him the important questions and don't be intimidated to ask him. Listen, clarity is an act of kindness towards yourself. Clarity is going to benefit the other person. There is no reason in stringing a situation along when there's no clarity. It's just a waste of your time, waste of his time. If you really want something and he doesn't want that thing, you have to ask him. I'm going to need y'all to write down them non-negotiables today. That's going to be our homework for tonight. I'm going to need y'all to write down these non-negotiables. See, there's a difference between building with a man, right? Building with a man. You are a team at the end of the day. That's your family. That's your partner. That it's two becomes one. There's a difference between building with a man versus building a man up. Hello. Let me show you guys my dating patterns checklist. It's just helpful for clarity, right? So which one of these dating patterns do you feel like resonates with you, right? That's where we want to start. We want to start with identifying our patterns. The key is to start by recognizing these patterns, right? Once we know what the pattern is, because some of y'all know what your pattern is. Most of you don't even struggle. Like when we get on the coaching calls, most people don't even struggle with identifying what the pattern is. It's the struggle where it's like, okay, I have the awareness of what pattern it is or what I'm doing or what keeps showing up in my life, but I have no idea how to disrupt that pattern. That's typically the problem. Right? Because we haven't connected the dots. We haven't sat with ourselves long enough to understand those uncomfortable emotions that come up. You haven't sat with yourself long enough to understand, why am I anxious? How come when a man is pulling away from me, I get this overwhelming anxiety of like, nope, I got to hold on. I got to try to chase him. You think that's just how you are. You think, oh, I just don't like rejection. No, No, friend, that is coming from a place. You need to figure out where it's coming from. It's not only because you don't like rejection. Your inability to tolerate rejection comes from a place. We have to do the work. We have to figure it out. Amen. All right, you guys, I got to go. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. If I sound harsh, it's on purpose. Okay? Because I'm trying to wake it up and help y'all get to the other side. Y'all be blessed. Please be kind to yourself. Talk to you guys soon.